Hey, how's it going, everyone? Uh, this is Andrew here, and as you can see, I got into a captain's mode game today, and I was no longer unfairly muted, and I was very pleased because I was actually searching for games that were or were not captain's mode games, even while I was muted. I was just like, just figuring, yeah, if I get into a captain's mode game and I'm the captain, that's going to suck. But hopefully it won't happen. Um, so today, I wasn't searching only captain's mode, although I was thinking about doing that. I didn't. I was searching captain mode, every other mode. The very first game today was captain's mode. So yeah, I was kind of excited because I wasn't muted anymore, so I could communicate with my allies with the voice chat, text chat, and all that. So I was actually alt-tabbed in the beginning, and I came back. I'm like, whoo! Oh, I wasted a lot of time on that first ban, but it's okay because I always ban Zeus at the beginning. So, uh, because he is ridiculously overpowered, he needs a nerf. So, and then they follow up with an Nyx ban, so whatever. Nyx is an extremely popular first ban. I honestly think the captains that first ban him suck, but maybe that's just my opinion. Whatever. If they want to waste their ban on him, that's totally cool by me.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
I personally see him as like a poor man's Lena, but whatever. A lot of people can't appreciate her third skill well enough. So I ban out a Wisp and they ban out Warlock. Warlock is a pretty nice ban. I was actually thinking about picking it during the second pick phase, but then I realized he was already banned. I was like, no, that's not going to work. We're going to have to try something else.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's a good thing I thought about it before I actually picked up my fourth pick. If I had waited till the fifth pick to realize it, that would have been really dumb.
Skeleton King.
So I pick up a Skeleton King. Everyone's like, I want Magnus, I want Magnus, I want Magnus. Dude, I'm not gonna pick Magnus if everyone wants him, and you're just gonna be fighting all game over it. So I pick him up, Skeleton King. So then they really start floating, and I tell him, calm down, I can still pick Magnus. I just, in other words, one of you is just want Magnus should probably be the better man and pick the Skeleton King, is what I'm saying. And that's essentially what happens, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So their counter was, well, now's the time to do it. So I'm like, okay then, I'm gonna pick it. Well, I didn't actually say that, I just went ahead and picked him. So we reached a compromise. Even though they were actually raging at me, they weren't really doing it in a particularly rude way other than the floodings.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Just have to deal with it.
5 seconds.
So they picked up a Nature's Prophet. So at this point, I'm thinking maybe I should pick up a Spirit Breaker to counter Nature's Prophet, but I figure I can always pick them as a fourth or fifth pick if I really need to. But I really want to make sure I get this Slark. I know they're not going to ban him or pick him, but I need to let my allies know right away, just because they're not familiar with me, that we're going to roll the Slark. So, because if I just pick him as fourth or fifth, there's just going to be so much raging at the beginning, and I just won't be able to control it. But if I pick it right in the middle, then I have time to let them analyze the situation and see that it's not so bad as they might initially think. And of course, I can tell them, I'm going to pick the Slark, and assure them that, throughout my secondary bans, they will be able to see that I'm serious about making Slark work. So I guess with pubs, you should probably pick the hero that you're intending to play third. The this special hero that people think sucks, but he doesn't really. But the only reason he's going to work in this game is because you know how to pick a
10
man
seconds
around
remaining.
this hero. In other words, you know the hero well enough
5
that you know
seconds
what kind of
remaining.
heroes to watch out for and how to protect him and all that. And yeah.
Reserve
So,
time.
they actually picked up a Spirit Breaker, which is interesting. I'm not sure why they did, but I would assume it's just because they want to combo him with Nature for ganking. Uh, in other words, Nature's off pushing, and somebody comes to attack him, and Spirit Breaker charges him. But you're going to need Observer Wards for that. I'm not sure how much they had Observer Wards out there. I'm reckoning they didn't have very much of them, but we'll watch it and find out. I'm sure they must have had some Observer Wards out there. They couldn't have been that bad if they had none all game long, but they probably didn't have as many out as they could have. If I had to guess, I'd say Nature himself was not placing Observer Wards, and that was an issue. But we'll see. So we ban out Bane. That kept on getting requested, and I'm like, fine. I think he is a great ban because he's a very solid hero. People really underestimate him. And then I banned Windrunner because she's amazingly good in Slark. Somebody, if Slark becomes too popular, I could totally see them me needing to ban her out in the first ban phase. But yeah, as long as Slark isn't popular, people are not going to like pick Windrunner like as their third pick probably when they already have two intelligence heroes. And if they do, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Just so what if I could have Nyx? There's like 100 other heroes I could pick that could crush that puny intelligence line. Buy a Dagon. You could buy Skeleton King. You still buy a Dagon. It's fine. It's cool. Anyways, so they ban out Shadow Shaman and Jakiro, which is really puzzling. Banning out Lion and Shadow Shaman, I guess makes sense, but Jakiro too? They're really afraid of intelligence heroes. They really like intelligence heroes, I guess. Look at that, they picked two for the first two, and then they banned out Nyx. Like, oh, what you burning away my mana?
10 seconds remaining.
So I think this captain, Horsecock, is like, he really overrates intelligence heroes, in my opinion. Because he thinks Nyx is so overpowered that he has to first ban him. But yeah, whatever. So I banned out a Lifestealer. They were asking for the ban, and I thought, yeah, it's a reasonable ban, you know, if we have like a Skeleton King and so on, because it kind of makes Skeleton King not quite so effective. But I warned them they might pick up an Omniknight in response to us banning Lifestealer. Um, but by saying that, I also implied that we might pick Omniknight, because I also told them that I was going to pick the Spirit Breaker, but they did. But I said we could still work around their pick, that's fine. And because Omniknight counters Spirit Breaker, basically, with his ultimate, and Spirit Breaker charges in on somebody for a team fight. So, yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I didn't tell him why, I just told him that he does. Anyway, so they picked up this Centurion Protector, actually, and now we've got our final pick, and they were asking for Lena, so I figured, why not? We do need an intelligence hero, and we can't pick our Warlock. We need some extra zapping power. It wouldn't be bad against Spirit Breaker, because just Omniknight's ultimate alone is not going to crush Spirit Breaker. You need somebody to zap that guy. While we definitely could get like a Rubik, they don't have any zappers for him to steal their spells anyway. And besides, Lena's ultimate is reliable. Besides, they already banned Lion, so this is perfect. Um, and then they picked up a Storm Spirit for the last pick, which is interesting. Storm Spirit's pretty strong solo mid, so they probably run him solo mid. Nature's Prophet is actually, believe it or not, a pretty common solo mid, though. He's pretty good there. And even Keeper of the Light, believe it or not, is amazing solo mid. I kid you not. He's awesome there. But anyway, I was saying, okay, here's the thing. I was going to solo mid with Slark, but if we need to, we can have Magnus or somebody else solo mid, right? I mean, if Slark wants the. Actually, I didn't even suggest to. What I said was, yeah, I had to pause because it was screwed up because I called Slark and somebody else picked up. So I picked last, so I was stuck with Omniknight. So those two guys, teal and purple, picked their heroes super fast. And then Lena was like, okay, I guess I'm Lena. And then, yeah. Slark picked Slark, and then I picked Omniknight. So, basically, I was saying, Slark, if you want to, you could pick another lane. Maybe you want to do solo hard. Then I guess that means we would maybe have somebody else go solo mid or something. And he's like, no, I'll do it. It's cool. I can handle it. So I'm like, all right, fine then. So then we'll have somebody else solo hard lane. And it ended up being Magnus soloing hard lane. He apparently wanted the extra experience or whatever. So I'm like, fine, that's cool. Whatever. But I was volunteering to do it if necessary. So, but
30 seconds.
I thought I was going to need to do it, so I bulked up on health as much as possible. So, because I'm not going to really need armor regeneration, because I'm not going to get harassed, because I'm just going to play it safe by sticking to the tower, you know? Was the plan. But he wanted it, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll just have to work with it, what we got. So I grabbed some tangos and have the courier bring them to us. Because I'm not going to walk all the way back there for the tangos. Just a waste of time. So let's look at our select. Alright. This is commonly recommended starting items in somebody's guide. I'm not sure. But I feel like healing salve is kind of silly. I guess it's nice to have it for insurance early on. It allows you to be really aggressive for some of the last hits, but whatever. I feel like you just do better with other options. Anyway, that's not really what this game is all about. We're not stressing out about how to play Slark in this case, but we're focusing on playing with Slark because that's exactly what I did. Whose courier was this, anyways? Anyhow, I'll probably be doing this a lot in these Captain's Mode games. So, oh. So me and Skeleton King are like having difficulty coordinating. At first I'm getting like a ton of last hits, right? 4 to his 1. But then he's like, let me last hit! And then he starts messing up my last hits. So I'm like, okay, this is really annoying. So thankfully though, I decided to do a little bit of helping out Slark because he's in trouble. And we'll see how that works out. But in the meantime, I analyzed their situation a bit. They have Treant Protector in a solo hard lane, which is why I picked up Nature's Guise to begin with. Usually you won't see that too often, but people really underestimate this hero, and it's kind of cute that they decided to go ahead and do this. Although I feel like maybe his role in this game was underappreciated, and perhaps their teamwork wasn't as good as it could have been. But at any rate, it looks like their Nature Prophet is jungle lane, so it's just a dual lane. So, and you maybe could have guessed that they would have done something like this, but I guess you couldn't have been absolutely positive. If they were a better team, I mean, I know it sounds harsh, but if they were, they might have not even picked Treant Protector and a Nature's Prophet in the same game. Just because, in my impression, they're almost like the same kind of hero. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's because my viewpoint on both of those heroes is totally different from how most people view those heroes. So, due to my help, obviously, he got first blood on Storm Spirit. We might as well back that up so we can watch what happened. So first off, he almost dies, and I notice on the top left that. So I click on him, dude, what are you doing? Oh, and he's got a healing 7. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. So I'm gonna go help you. So I guess if you don't need the regen rune, we'll pick it up after we kill Storm Spirit, is what I tell him. So I move up there and I tell him I'm gonna heal him right away. So get into range for him. So he actually pounces, which instead of walking in front of the guy, so my nuke doesn't hit him. But he's not really able to get away due to the fact that he doesn't have any boots, and I hit him with my aura. Even though it's only 7%, so it's enough when he doesn't have any boots. I actually also had the Orb of Venom too, so that just clinched it really hard. So yeah, the Orb of Venom plus the Degen Aura, and he was messed up for sure. People really underestimate Omniknight. Like, once you pick up all 3 of his skills, he's solid. You don't want to skip either Repel or Degen Aura. It's just really dumb to do. Dumb idea. You should never do that. You should get all 3 of his skills. So I got them all by level 3. And really, Slark didn't have a very efficient skill build. He didn't play his hero very well. But I could say the same for Lena, and I told them as much. But anyways, yeah. I saw no reason to criticize Skeleton King or Magnus' skill builds. They seem to. I probably could have examined Skeleton King's build a little bit more, but there wasn't really any need to. I already gave him a good lecture about the last setting. I think it's probably best to only give someone like 1 lecture per game. If you do any more than that, then I mean, as far as trying to improve their skills, you know. I mean, other than that, you pretty much shouldn't be lecturing people. Just like maybe once and just leave it at that. So I mentioned she planted a sentry ward down here. I'm gonna take this guy out, so that worked out great. This guy's actually got the default weapon, but I got this custom weapon. I really like this custom weapon. I think it's really fitting for Omniknight. I think it looks so good. And then Slark with default stuff. Yeah, everyone's pretty much default. Actually, this guy doesn't have cosmetics yet. But this guy, he doesn't have defaults at all. He looks really interesting. Like, I actually have this Empowering Elements weapon. I don't have any of this other stuff. World Runner is what he's called. I didn't even know that this set existed. It looks pretty cool. I actually like this. Huh. But, this is kind of refreshing to see him actually change his outfit. So Slark comes up here, probably looking for a kill on Nature's Prophet, I guess. Which is a little bit silly considering he doesn't have enough of burst damage yet. You could have like 3 levels of Dark Pact right now and be doing a lot more damage. So he's relying on his ultimate too much at this point.
Can't see the forest.
So Magnus actually finishes him off. When this guy gets his mana burned. Wait, he's not jumping away. He's gonna jump after him. That's gonna end up. Oh. You know what? He might have been able to get away if he didn't actually right click that guy. He would have had to make this guy use it like his shockwave to kill him or just attack him and then run away. But he made the tower angry and so it targeted him. But yeah, once you pounce him, he can't get away, so Magnus could have taken his sweet time and walking over there and attacking him, and he had considerably more health than Slark did. So he would have had a higher chance of surviving. Magnus maybe very well would have died too, but you never know for sure, unless you try.
But whatever. He still got the kill for sure, so I guess that's okay in the end. But he really didn't need to jump in there. Could have just retreated and regenerated his health. So at this point, I'm kind of low on health, and I figure I'm just going to get some Tranquil Boots. That's going to help me out a lot. And you know what? I don't know if... Like, they rarely broke, if at all, this game. It was really interesting. I was like total hardcore support without even realizing it. Whoa. Actually, I think I did realize it. But anyways, no, I'm just teasing. It's funny how people tend to force the captain to play the support, which is fine, to be honest. It's difficult to play the support. It honestly really is. A lot of players really suck at it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The sacred grove awaits.
Ooh, that was a nice bash.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But he's basically screwed.
That's a change of plans. The light is well kept.
Oh man, he doesn't even have boots yet. He rushed Mask of Madness. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's funny. And we actually won with this guy. Well, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have got the kill on Storm Spirit early on. And how's he doing on last hits? Well, Storm Spirit's actually sucking. So I bet if this Storm Spirit was considerably more competent, we probably would have lost. Oh, man. Yeah. Huh. But anyways, I mean, do I know how to pick a hero lineup, or do I know how to pick a hero lineup? Yeah, it's... Regardless of whether or not my hero lineup is good, some people might argue that the opponents just had a bad one. And have fun trying to beat a good hero lineup, huh? I think I might have to agree with them that their hero lineup was honestly a little bit bad, because they didn't actually pick an agility hero up. And some people might think Nature's Prophet is agility, but I got news for you. He's not. He's intelligence. Slark, of course, is going to die because he doesn't know that you're supposed to pounce to get out of sight range, apparently. Anyways, Skeleton King manages to get away though, because he knows how to use his skills, apparently. But actually, he might die anyway. No, wait, no, yeah, he's at Bally's there, but he still could, because they're kind of outnumbered, and Magnus may just run away. And here comes Treant! Oh, he might not let Skeleton King run away. But at least he got a kill on Nature before dying. So, I guess that was an okay trade. Sort of. So anyways, it leaves me and Lena at bottom, so I'm just basically getting as many last hits as I can at this point now that Skeleton King's not here. I'm not helping out Slark or whatever. Because I know I need to bulk up, otherwise it could be a liability to the team. So I'm not sure if there was a bug there or what, but it seemed like he wasn't regenerating maybe. If that was the case, it may very well have been a bug. Because he was being charged was why he wasn't regenerating, I suppose. Unless he was too close to the tower. Because there didn't seem to be any true sight on him. So, I don't know. I don't recall them saying that they fixed it, so they probably haven't. But it's not one of the most critical bugs that he's got. They can take their sweet time fixing it, I suppose. Other heroes suffer from it too, so whatever. Not like he's special. Anyway,
All bonds will break.
it just hurts him more than other heroes. So she doesn't stun the charging Spirit Breaker, even though it's level 1 stun.
I'm done.
Unfortunately, Slark is just way too squishy, and I'm not able to activate my ultimate in time.
Tower is under attack.
If I even used it. I guess I used it. Wait, I don't remember what happened. That's confusing.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is
anyway, maybe that was somebody else.
Over here now.
No. Lena. That's who it was. Lena was too squishy. Right. And then, of course, I couldn't use it on Slark because it was already used up.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
that was
is
kind of a
under attack.
disaster.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
now
is
Skeleton
under
King is
attack.
being charged. And I suppose he knows. For whatever reason, maybe Spirit Breaker made it too obvious. And he's got a Mask of Madness, which is a very common item on Spirit Breaker, and is a good reason to really love Lena against him. Because that might have been what she was doing. She might have been waiting for him to activate that Mask of Madness. But obviously you can't do that, because you have to stun him to interrupt his charge so he doesn't permanently stun you. But whatever. I don't even know if he had the Mask of Madness by that time or not. Probably not. So me and Slark come get him. Pretty easy jump, but he doesn't do it. He just keeps attacking with Essence Shift first, and then of course he misses his jump because it's too late. But I repel him so that he doesn't lose his mana, so that he's able to still pounce that guy. So I mean, without me picking up this Omniknight and doing my job properly, Slark would just be crying by now due to the Keeper of the Light actually being competent enough to pick up the mana leak early. Like, he was using it early on. Like, once Slark hit level 6, he was getting Keeper. Keeper had mana leak ready. Now, Keeper might not be competent enough to realize that you should actually max your mana leak first, but at least he was competent enough to pick it up early. At least he's a decent player. Maybe not a good one, but he's not terrible like a lot of players are.
Mine is the anvil on which your
A lot of players will just max out their Illuminate and their Chakra before even picking one level of Mana Leak, and that's just wrong on so many levels. This guy's only wrong on a few levels. The ones that he's on kind of count for a lot, but whatever.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So we can guess that this guy's getting either Battle Fury or Critical Strike. How's everyone else doing on items? It's about 16 minutes in. Let's see how everyone's been doing. As for Omniknight, he's just got a couple gauntlets, tranquil boots, and orb of venom. Of course, he was in the tri lines, so couldn't get too farmed up. Oh, well, now he's got a vitality booster. That's good. It's gonna help out a lot. Storm Spirit Warrior is doing. Oh, he's gonna go kill this guy. Unfortunately, I just couldn't. He was too squishy. I couldn't get my ultimate off in time. People aren't bulking up enough. Look at that. He doesn't. He's got +3 strength, and that's it. So when a storm initiates on you, you're dead. Just, everyone's too squishy, and I'm really frustrated. But there isn't a whole lot I can do other than just be bulky myself and try to not make the problem any worse.
Radiant's bottom tower is
At this point, all I can really do is repel Slark, so that's what I do.
sorceries avail.
I didn't know if that guy had any mana or not, but if he did, then, or if somebody jumped on us, then it would help. But this guy was pretty low sort of a position too, but I didn't know where this guy was. I didn't know he was at bottom. And I knew he had invisibility from level 1, so I wasn't sure what the level of his other abilities were. And I was too busy helping out my allies to really pay too much attention to the enemies for the most part. Strange Prophet going back to jungling. Looks like it's gonna get a refresher board working. Maybe of lads. Storm Spirit, I don't know what that void zone would be for. It's really hard to figure out. I'm gonna have to pause this for a moment because somebody's apparently inviting me to a party. So, anyways, continuing on, we've got Magnus. He dropped, and the Slark going after the. Oh, hey, it's yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I'm heading after him, but I kind of got to take care of the creeps, so. And Slark is really low on mana, so at this point, like, it would really help him out a lot if he would just buy some TP scrolls and teleport back, or recharge his mana, or carry around clarity potions, or grab a bottle, or there's so many ways he could solve his mana problems, but he's not really bothering to do it. So at this point, I figure he's just gonna slowly farm creeps, which I guess is one way to make sure your mana recharges eventually is just to let it do the natural way, right? Isn't that natural? No, I think it's plenty natural to use a clarity potion. I'm sure we don't know what a clarity potion is in real life, but in Dota, you know what it is. Anyway, really funny to see a nature prophet sprout themselves when they're already next to a bunch of trees. But yeah. Hey, look at that, he used it again. It's got such a low cooldown. I love it. Anyways, you can see Omniknight's ultimate really is amazing. Like, we're gonna have to rewind that though, because I was like staring at Nature's Prophet's funny teleport. So here he is, he's like over here, and wait, this can't be right, we gotta fast forward this. He was in the bottom. How did he end up there?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He decided to defend the bottom tower, apparently, even though there were other people there. Why didn't he defend? Wait, no, there's nobody there. Whatever. Anyway, so what's he doing? I'm not sure. Analyzing the situation, I guess. Can't figure out what's going on. Spearburger knows what's going on. He's attacking a Skeleton King and getting stunned by these guys.
It's not greed, it's the humiliation.
Wait, what? What? What happened? That is confusing. What? How did that happen? He sprouted. How many? That is. I don't understand.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We're definitely rewinding that again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I repelled her so that she wouldn't get stunned by Greater Bash, I guess, or something like that. Anyway,
It's the humiliation.
no. Wait, what? Oh, he's already stuck? I don't understand. How come it does that? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, look at this. Where is he? He's over here. Okay. So watch this in slow motion. Where's Spirit Breaker? Let's speed it up a little and then slow it down. Spirit Breaker sees Skeleton King. Charges him. Okay. Where's Nature? Here he is. Okay. Slow it down even more. Okay, he's dead. No doubt about it. What's going on over here? First he's over here.
It's not the heat.
And he moves over here. This guy's kind of chasing him. Okay. Now what happens? He's right over here between the trees and Slark. Oh, he gets pushed into a trap. But how come all these trees are still here? And these trees are, I mean, the... No? Ah, okay. It pushes him. He... Wow, I didn't know you could do that. So you could... Oh, man, that is crazy. That is so wild. I wonder if you could do it without a target standing next to you or not. You can just push yourself into the trees anytime you want. Like backwards. Instead of into it. I don't know. That is really strange. Okay, well I see what happened now. Yeah, some of those trees don't look like the other ones, so it's not quite the same as it was in North Dakota as far as the textures of the trees and stuff, but anyway. Oh, I had repelled him and that's why he survived. He was gonna die to something, but he didn't.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No, Lena dies, right. The Skeleton King survives. So I couldn't save her, right. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember things right sometimes. Right, he was going to die to the damage over time from Train Protector. That's what it was, but the Repel saved him. But I just couldn't save Lena. So grab Health Ring, because that's going to help out. I'm going to make a Bloodstone. Now, so far, I've been captaining pretty good, haven't I? I drafted this guy, and he's not really playing him as well as I'd like, but we're making it work. Let's see how things are going on experience earned. Now, they actually had quite an advantage. Look at that. Well past 5,000. But then it spiked over here, and then it went back down again, and now it's going back up again. So, and then, okay, let's look at gold earned. Okay, it was kind of a little bad at first, and then it went good, and then better than good, and now it's been really bad, actually. Wow. I'm actually surprised, honestly, that, because look at the kills, right? But it's mostly because our gold earn is so bad, because the net worth is, like, really sloppy on some of these guys. Like the Slark, he's making a lot of kills, right? But he's dying a lot and not really spending his gold very well. Because he's reckless. He just dies constantly when he doesn't really think he's gonna die. Right? And, well, and they have a lot of burst, though, with this guy. Just his ultimate is amazing. And their Storm Spirit will grab you and you might panic or something. So we're able to chain stun that guy to death, so he's taken out of the picture pretty easily. And then he dies to Nature's Prophet's ultimate. His Prophet had almost died, So he teleports to his own jungle. Ugh. Like, why doesn't he bring himself some tangos on the
Dire's
courier?
middle tower is under attack.
I guess because he figures he'll just have these guys tank for him. Oh, Keeper comes along and uses mechanism on him. What a nice guy. So Slark decides, you know what, I'm outnumbered and there's a tower there, I'm getting out of here. Definitely doesn't want to tangle with that Storm Spirit for too long. Apparently Storm had used his electric vortex on him, and nature teleported in to try to back him up, but Slark wouldn't have any of that. So Skeleton King's like, I'm not just going to let you guys push this. I'm going to confront you. Even though he's all alone, he's going to do it. He is pretty beefy with that arm, though. It'd be kind of hard to kill him. Here comes Slark. I told people to get Skull's Town portals, so I got one myself. But I was in the middle of trying to buy a Void Stone, so I went ahead and bought that first at the secret shop, and then headed over to help out. Not sure if that was the right thing to do, to wait before teleporting over, because apparently I could have gotten quite a bit of assist gold there. But I didn't realize quite how the fight was going. I kind of wanted my allies to stall for me, and maybe my opponents thought that's what they'd do, so maybe it was okay for them to jump them. It seemed to work out fine, at any rate, but I was a little disappointed, but not much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe they're waiting for me to start to teleport in before retreating, and since I never did and they just jumped, that screwed them up. Who knows? Could only guess it was a miscommunication on the part of the Dire. He tries to pounce somebody and misses and jumping into the trees. That happens to me quite a bit. You just gotta not miss your pounce. Dude, the worst is when you go up to the high ground. That is so annoying. Because they probably have the ward up there, you know. It's just... like, to see that you're stuck in, it's so embarrassing. Like, right over here. That is, like, the worst. Like, when you're stuck right there.
Dire's middle tower is
She zaps him. I'm not gonna let you kill my Omniknight. So nice of her. She tries to stun Storm Spirit, but the Storm Spirit doesn't walk into it. Then Slark dies. Like, how did he die? I want to watch that. Like, because we're all doing this, and he's all doing his own thing. So ridiculous. Okay, what's he doing? Let's put this on player perspective. That'll be a little easier. Wait, go to Slark. No, Omniknight. Okay, this isn't working. Forget it. This game's so glitchy on so many levels. Okay, what happened? Take the tower, blah blah blah. Spirit Breaker charges in. That was an awful pounce. That just wasn't even aimed right. Seriously, wow. Whatever, that's what I thought, but anyway. Maybe it was lagging, who knows. So I tell him, alright, I'm gonna repel him before you move in, so... And he stops! And then... stops some more, and then he goes in. Wow, so he totally wastes my repel, and then he turns on his ultimate and goes in. As if he wasn't paying any attention to what I said. Or he's trying to prove that he can do it without my repel. Which is obviously not the case. That is absolutely ridiculous. Wow. I'm glad he didn't rage quit on me, but he was obnoxiously rude. All of his pride in this game and thinking that he was some amazing Slark player, and he's really not. Wow. Like, he made this game way harder than it needed to be. But who knows? If I had picked Slark, maybe he would have raged at me, and he would have never performed his role as Omniknight correctly. Eh. That wouldn't necessarily mean that we would lose, but if he wanted to make sure we'd lose, I'm sure he would have found a way. That's why I always make sure I pick my hero last when I'm the captain. In other words, I never pick a hero in captain's mode for any of my allies unless I'm totally comfortable playing it myself. So always keep that in mind. Even against the enemy lineups, don't want to pick that hero unless you're comfortable picking it yourself. All 5 of the heroes. Because you never know who's going to be disagreeing with you and thinking, no, let's not do it that way, let's do it this way. Like for me, yeah, it just really pisses me off when captains do that. They pick a hero when they were thinking one thing and I was thinking another, and I think, well, that won't work, but this other thing will work. Sometimes maybe I think I should just pause it and tell them, okay, you better swap me, captain, because this is not going to work. But yeah, because you can actually swap in captain's mode. So I guess if you have a bad captain, you definitely should ask for it. But I'm not a bad captain, so please don't ask me for a swap. Well, maybe I'm a bad captain if I like have a toilet emergency or something like that. But other than that, I'm fine. So they jump on Slark. Like, he's not noticing Nature Prophet teleporting in on him. It's incredibly obvious, dude. But anyways, yeah, he gets killed. Wow. Maybe he doesn't have his sound turned on. No, I think he does, because he was responding to me. It's just probably not up very loud. So maybe like the voice is higher than the game volume. That could be an issue. He doesn't hear the Nature Prophet, or he just doesn't recognize the sound. I've played so much Slark. I'm very familiar with playing against Nature's Prophet as Slark. And I definitely recognize that sound of him teleporting in. But they need to fix Wisp's teleporting, man. You can't notice it. There's no notification to the opponents at all, except for like a little tiny brief, like not even half a second. Like, I don't even know how long it is. Brief notification in the minimap. That's it. That's all you get. It's really dumb. You need to fix that notification. It doesn't work. You need to show it on the screen right there, so you can see it, and you need to hear it too. It doesn't have to be very loud. Just make sure you can hear it a little bit. Now this is a very loud blast, in my opinion. If you have it turned up a little bit more, you'll hear it more. But anyway, yeah. Something that you learn to listen to. But the Wisp, you can't even hear it. You can hear him coming back, however, after he's already relocated. Because it has a two-part. You go and you teleport in. And then there's a signature from where you teleported. That after so many seconds, then you teleport back. Bam. So first you charge it up, then you teleport in, and then it's waiting that whole time to return you to that point. At that point, that's what you can see. But you're supposed to also be able to see him charging up to teleport on a spot too. The initial part of the ultimate does not display for enemies on Wisp. And that's why I banned him also this game. You always ban Wisp. Because he's broken right now, he's totally rigged. Another really great ban for that same reason would be Kunkka. But his torrent is not quite as game-breaking as Wisp's ultimate. It's still ridiculous, and they need to fix it, but I mean, Wisp is kind of a more important ban than Kunkka is at this point. Anyway, as I was doing all this chatting, they're all tower diving and dying. Like, they're not even with me, so they don't have Repel, they don't have Guardian Angel, and they're not paying attention to the fact that Skeleton King just asked us to try to take some towers. They're like, no, I don't want to take towers, I'd rather tower dive, that's a lot more fun. So they all towered out and died, pretty much. So it really stinks. Slark even admits repeatedly in the game that he's greedy. And so, yeah. I'm just glad he didn't rage quit on me. And neither did Lena, so that's good. Perhaps Slark's humility and admitting that he was greedy helped a lot. One thing that really pisses... I don't know, no, you can't call that humility, can you? Maybe. I'm not sure what his issue is. Maybe he's humble, maybe he's not. I think he's cooperative. I could say that much. I don't know enough about his personality to be able to say exactly how he was this way. But look at this. I'm doing a pretty good job of protecting people. And now people are starting to run away from us. We've already started killing people. So, although we're almost dying, they're already dead. So, yeah. It's looking pretty good.
Ooh, thanks.
So she's got earn charges, but I'm not going to wait for her to use her own charge. I'm going to earn her. You know, like, man, I don't want her to die.
Invisibility.
But she decided she wanted to go back to base, I guess. But probably thought better of it. And decided to go defend since nobody else was doing it. And she can use arcane boots and she's got earned, so she's pretty much gold. For the most part. So many disconnects. He's taunting the opponents. I didn't even notice. Anyway, disconnecting once a match. Well, Dota 2, for me, I gotta run like a memory optimizer because there's quite a bit of memory leakage. So, if the computer was poorly designed or something, if it's just old or whatever, it might not function so well. It's not a hardware problem, it's a software problem. In other words, there's bugs in Dota 2 where basically make the game crash on you. And that's what happened to that guy, apparently. And my game will totally do that too, but I've been basically preventing it by running memory optimizer for the most part. It prevents most of the crashes. Not all of them, but most of them. Which is great. So I don't crash like every game. Like he does. This guy's pushing nice and hard. Quite dedicated on pushing. But apparently he's also quite dedicated on the feeding because he can't get away. Look at that, 11 deaths. Slark's got 9 deaths. He's been feeding too. Can't deny it. And then here I tell him, you better get back. But he doesn't. He gets that kill. He still doesn't head back. He uses his ultimate and bam, he's dead. Maybe if you had an Orchid, bro. Then you wouldn't have been able to cast any spells. Well, anyway. It looks like Stormspirit actually is planning on buying a Lincoln Sphere. So even if Slark were to try to buy Orchid right now, it might be too little too late because Stormspirit might make a Lincoln Sphere. It's just a theory though, or whatever. So I mean, Magnus was actually in trouble already. And he still theoretically could have died. Like if nature tried, if he was alive and jumped on us, and actually could have even chose to jump on us after he died anyway. But it was a difficult situation Slark put me in. Do I protect Magnus or Slark? Slark has been greedy all game long, and I already told him to retreat, but he goes in anyway. He should have broken off the attack on Storm. He could have waited. Your Essence Shift used to be 60 seconds duration at maximum level. Now it's 120. It lasts twice as long as it did before. You don't really have a good excuse to, yeah, be acting like that. I guess if they were to make any changes to Slark, they should buff the duration again on the Essence Shift. Because people just aren't taking Essence Shift seriously enough. Like, they just keep attacking until they die as Slark, and that's just not the right way to play them all the time. Sometimes you have to accept the fact that the enemy's gonna get away, and you have to let them get away. And that's fine. I feel like a greater duration on Essence Shift should encourage that. Especially, I'm not saying that they need to do that, but maybe it's not a bad idea at all. Even if they just increase it to like 30, 60, wait, no. What if they had it to 60, 90, 120, and 150? Would that be so terrible for the durations at each level? It'd be a full minute at level 1, which is pretty insane. Maybe that's a little outrageous. How about 40, 90, 135, and 180? Is that too much? 3 minutes? I don't think so. It's only 1 extra minute. Yeah. I think that would be balanced. 45, 90, 135, 180. That sounds reasonable to me. Level 1, 15 seconds is just extremely weak. I'm not even joking around. It's very weak. You have to get it up to like the 3rd level before it actually seems to do anything. So if they had it 45 seconds at level 1 and 90 at level 2, 135 at level 3, 180 at level 4, that would just be perfect. I really think so. I haven't really taken very seriously people's opinions about Essence Shift, but now that I've had just time to see him in Captain's mode for myself and see me picking a good lineup with him and seeing somebody else do badly with him and analyzing why, I really think like this is the change he needs. He needs the duration fix on Essence Shift that I just mentioned. Change it to exactly those numbers. Basically 45 at level 1 and increasing it by 45 per level is just perfect. 45 seconds, 90 seconds, 135, and 180. I don't see anything wrong with those numbers at all. That's perfect. And then on top of that, they can release an Aghanim Scepter upgrade for Slark. And this will just, they need to do this like the same patch. This will reinforce the fact that it's a long duration and make Slarks realize that they need to just hang on to their charges instead of just suiciding, which is what he did. So basically what would happen with the Aghanim Scepter is it would give you health, a lot of health that Slark players normally wouldn't have. And with that health you'd be surviving longer, and it would be a lot harder to die. It's so easily. Like with the Mask of Madness, you're kind of encouraged to suicide, sort of. Yeah. Like if you'd run away from Storm Spirit, maybe you would have died to Storm Spirit anyway. But I was kind of hanging around him for the most part, so he could have tried running into me. I think I was still in range, as long as he didn't chase Storm. But whatever. I think the point is that a little extra health and mana would help. Like he wasn't managing his mana properly at all. That's kind of an issue too. But what the upgrade would do the Agony Scepter upgrade is make him gain 4 agility per attack instead of 3. And then you could steal 1 extra attribute from the opponent's primary attribute. But that would help counteract Centaur's buff to his double edge, because it's way too strong at the moment. And Slark, he shouldn't be that weak against Centaur. So if they fixed that, it's where he's
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So by this time, you could see there's a lot of action. Like, their team has clearly lost. We've raxed them. I've got travels.
Radiant's bottom tower
We do Roshan. We need the armor, or at least, you know, assuming nobody slips up on our team and nobody does anything amazing on Dire. We don't really have a way of winning. I'm just judging by how far along the replay is. It's kind of obvious. But I'm actually a little conflicted about what items to buy at this point. Like, I'm thinking I should get a Mjolnir, but now not so much anymore. Just get a Vlad's. I thought I would have already had a Vlad's by this point. I probably end up dying here, around here. Actually, I don't die after getting the Bloodstone. Slark dies, though. And the Skeleton King dies. He runs out of mana, so instead of running away so he can't use his ultimate, he stands there so he can use his ultimate and die anyway. I told him to need a magic wand. If he had one, he could have just run away, eat the stun, and then activate magic wand and respawn with your ultimate. Not that hard. He thinks he's gonna get away. How cocky can you get? And he's still holding on to his Quelling Blade. You really think a Quelling Blade is more important than a magic wand? Come on. But, to his credit, he did get the Assault Cuirass to combo with the Abyssal Blade. So, whatever. His build makes sense, it's just he's not countering the opponents. Maybe he figures he has enough mana regeneration because of Lena hanging around for Arcane Boots. Just kind of charge past 2 towers and into 4 heroes to hit you with her Arcane Boots. And if she was, why don't you run to her if she's standing here? Be a little bit smarter about that. If she was here, why wouldn't you run to her? Then she could charge you up with her mana boots if that's what you were using the whole game long for your mana. I don't know what his deal is, but anyway. I think he just takes his support allies for granted. I think that's what it is. He canceled the animation on his ultimate. You have to be careful about using your ears too much to think that somebody used a spell, because you could hear them start to use it, but they could cancel it. So at this point I've got my Vlads. I racked up quite a bit of gold, but I figure with Skeleton King dying a lot and just being silly, I kind of need more lifesteal. And it'll actually improve Slark's damage output too in a long fight, so that's good. I really should be the one to be getting Vlad's, but I don't necessarily have to get it early. I can get it later. I think the time I got it right now is just fine. I'm gonna get the bloodstone so I could have never-ending mana supply. I burned my ultimate because I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen. But I forced this guy to run away, apparently. And he even used his Black King bar, so it's for the first time. So that's kind of good.
I will rise next season.
This guy, I told him not to get the Black King bar because it's not going to be very effective for his hero. He doesn't listen to me.
Is it spring already? Purification.
So we jump on this guy, he's pushing too hard. Nature's like, I'm going to defend him, we'll just keep pushing. Or whatever. He's trying to block himself so we can't attack him? What's the point of that? So he blinks in, ultimates his trance and him, and I kill all of his trance and him. Wow, that is so cool. And we're like, well, I don't really feel like buying True Sight right now. So we'll let him go. And then this guy charges a creep, and we're like, oh, what, they want more? Okay, let's give him some more then. Because I still don't have my travel boots up. So I'm totally cool for some more fighting. Because I was planning on teleporting to the top, but I can't do it yet. Then they run away, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's fine. So he's charging up there, and I'm charging up there too. Hehe. Let's see who gets there first.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's funny how you can totally tease Spirit Breaker. Ah, I wonder who's gonna get there first. No, if we had wards in our jungle and I saw him charging, I totally can imagine myself taunting him that way. But I'd probably get muted if I did. Globally muted, I mean, you know, he'd report me for chat abuse. Anyway, that one definitely won. It's pretty much solid. The travel boost makes a pretty big difference, sort of. Because you can be, like, against these guys that are so mobile, this one too even, it just really helps. Yeah, so he finished his Liquid Sphere, and now it looks like he might be working on either a Refresh Orb or an Orchid. Refresh Orb might be a little bit silly, but not really. I mean, 20 seconds is 20 seconds. If you can't wait that long, pop your Refresh Orb. Yeah, he's probably getting an Orchid though. So nature actually hadn't enjoyed that, I guess. Apparently, I don't know. I guess they're pink and brown Wicked Sports. I'm not sure why. I mean, I just suppose they might have had some lack of communication. Maybe there was, but maybe there wasn't any hard feelings. So, whatever.
I've seen this somewhere before.
Oh, something new is sprouting.
Oh, bright and shiny.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. And stay tuned for more games much like this. I imagine I'm going to be playing a lot of Captain's Mode and drafting Slark a lot because I think he's awesome. I love him.